'Twas the night before Christmas Eve, and the Bruins are here, looking for a bounce-back win over the Canadiens. And puck drop is near. Nikita Santa Claus in the building. I love that, man. Look at that. Look, you got Hampus, Lindholm, the elf, and then traditional holiday sweaters.
Yeah, these guys, like, he had Marat reindeer.
Yeah.
Which one?
Look at that.
Oh,
that's a nice coat.
That's a nice coat.
Yeah.
There's a goal scorer from last time out. Andrew Peeke, or this past weekend, I should say, against the Canucks.
That's the...
Hey, and Victor Arvidsson could be playing tonight, making his return to the lineup. Very festive.
Very festive.
So are you, buddy.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you, my friends. Good to see you.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you, gentlemen, as well. Good to be here. The last game before the holiday break.
Yes. We've got some fun. You're going to have fun up here.
Yeah, we're going to have fun.
You're going to eat.
Yeah, hopefully holiday magic in the air, too, for the Bruins.
Boy,
hopefully magic on the ice.
Yeah, exactly. Pre-game hub, presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Oh, sure, as we're eating cookies.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Great time of year. After the new year, maybe. Adam Peller and Billy Jaffe, Barry Peterson coming to you from our Wasabi studio here at TD Garden as the Bruins get set for matchup against the Montreal Canadiens. Rough weekend, to say the least, for the Bruins as they drop both of the games in 3 straight overall. They do pick up the point against Vancouver on Saturday, a shootout loss. But you can take a look at the home record for the Bruins this year. Been very good at home overall. It's the first time this year, though, that they've lost 3 straight at home.
Yeah, situation to these 4 games we're talking about, starting with Utah coming off a successful road trip, 2 wins, 1 loss. Yeah, they played very well. And then Edmonton, okay, Billy, they lost. But, we could take some positives out of it. This weekend, whoa, Vancouver and Ottawa, and especially Sunday night against Ottawa, were not pretty. And it's a situation where it's regroup time here.
Big time.
Yep.
And refocus all the words that you can use. But this started out, this homestand, you mentioned the first game was good. And coming off I don't want to say an expected loss against Minnie. That's not accurate. A loss that you're like, okay, we get it. All right, fine. You still got 4 out of 6 points. This homestand started with such promise and expectations.
Correct.
It did. Expectations because of that. You talked about, Adam, how good they've been at home. And that's why I think this feels even worse. Because we know what they have done at home, and we see what's going on. And it's a little frightening because it's starting to feel a lot like that 7-game stretch where they were having big issues before. And you're like, don't go back to that. You cannot go back to that. If we're thinking that, they are.
Yeah, and to your point, Billy, last 2 games at home, goals against 6 against Ottawa, 5 against Vancouver. That's just, when you're at home, you just can't have that type of hockey. And to Billy's point, when they did have that bad stretch, it was wide open. There wasn't that defensive structure, that difficulty to play against. Man, that Ottawa game, I couldn't sleep when I went home. It was that bad.
You mentioned the game.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I
you
know.
Can sleep through anything.
I know.
Well, you mentioned the game against Utah. You get the win there. You didn't play badly against Edmonton, right?
No,
especially 5-on-5, which gave you hope for the weekend, right?
We said the other night, we said we felt okay to pretty good after that Edmonton game because you got beat by the best player in the hockey world.
But it's also one of those games that you lose when you sit down, you get an undress afterwards. It's, you know what? If we play like that on a regular basis, we're going to win more than we lose, correct?
Right. Yeah. And that's what made the other night feel like so bad.
Yep.
Like you overate cookies.
Right.
We're going to do next.
Which is going to happen.
Yes.
For sure. David Pastrnak scored a power play goal for the Bruins on Sunday against the Ottawa Senators. Bruins were down 3-0 at the time. Thought this might get them back in it a little bit. Turned out not to be the case, but here's a look at Pastrnak's goal. And you haven't seen that one time or too often.
No, it was a 5-on-3 opportunity. And to your point, Adam, there was still, half a minute left, Billy, in that period or so, 50 seconds. And it was a situation you go, okay, hey, now it's a 5-on-4 power play. Now maybe you can get another one and really get some momentum going, either here or at the beginning of the second period. But not only do you not get a goal, Billy, you give up a breakaway against you. And your goalie had to bail you out a little bit at that time, too.
No question. That Ottawa team mentally has it over the Bruins this year. I know the Bruins have one win. It was an extra time. But the Ottawa Senators, you can tell that they did not get rattled by that 5-on-3 goal. They didn't. In fact, they said, we're going to come right back at you. We're going to take it back at you because they're confident. They've got it against the Bruins. They've got enough pushback physically in their lineup, and the Bruins, otherwise, I just think they get wide open against Ottawa for some reason, and they lose their focus for some reason against them.
But, Billy, we are sitting here. You could feel it right from the opening puck drop, the first shift. You could feel the energy and the intensity that Ottawa brought. And, as the Bruins have been trying to regroup here and talk about focusing in on this game because it's a divisional 4-point game, Ottawa was really focused. They were ready, man. They came out right from the get-go and gave it to the Bruins pretty good.
I sure did. Power play goal by David Pastrnak, 5-on-3 opportunity, able to capitalize there. But you take a look at the special teams overall. Over the last 7 games for the Bruins, they have been scoring power play goals. They've scored in 4 straight games. But they've allowed power play goals in 7 straight games, and that's been an issue.
Huge. And, Adam, it's some of these things that you say, oh, God, now, you can play this game about anything, right? If only you did this, right? If only you cleared the puck away this time or that time. But the Bruins' penalty kill has been on a precipitous fall, Barry, in the last, as you see, 7 games. Maybe in a little bit more than that. But the Bruins, structurally in their own zone, they're doing what they're. It's hard to describe if we're just watching some. Now, this is a shorthanded opportunity.
Is just pure talent.
Well, this is some giving up some issues on the power play. They gave up the 2 short-handed chances against Ottawa. Stützle, who's so good on the breakaways, we thought he scored this one, but Bruins got lucky. And then right here, they get another one. This is the one, all of a sudden, they give this breakaway up after they'd scored. Yeah,
and that's a situation, too, Billy's. We always talk about the power play getting momentum, but killing penalties off really give you momentum, as well. And the Bruins have been allowing too many power play goals against in the first period. The first opportunity or so. Here, you look at both defensemen are up out of position here. You don't take away a stick in front, right? And it's just
you need that one. You need a save on that one, quite frankly. I mean, that to me is the big thing. So, talking to the Bruins defense, just about where their structure is. The weak side forward, Barry, his role is to take the weak side guy come there. So therefore, the middle defenseman is actually bumped up a little more to try and take the bumper.
Right.
And so that's what leaves that bottom seam we've talked about. It feels like a bit more open. It has a lot to do with how the opponents now are structuring up on power play. Gone are the days. Remember, when we were out there was D to D hammer time and everything. Now it's one guy and it's all different thing. With all that said, some of the issues the Bruins have had on the PK have been failure to clear, which they weren't doing early in the season. They were doing it more. And then I also think that they are just, in general, giving up more chances from the slot area.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're getting too disconnected, too spread out defensively in their own end. I think one of the other things that happens, too, they seem to get, when they get one, then they get another penalty a minute or 2 later. And now all of a sudden you're going back to the same guys that just killed successfully, you hope. You're taxing them a little bit with more pressure put on them. And then meanwhile, your top guys aren't getting on the ice.
Yeah, the minutes are disjointed and everything falls apart from there. Moment of the week presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Make this your moment. Make your own 180 by taking control of your weight and health. Awaken180weightloss.com. Charlie McAvoy with his first goal of the season. First goal since this past February for McAvoy, who, of course, will be taking on the Canadiens tonight for the first time since he suffered that injury in Montreal. But you'd love to see more from Charlie McAvoy in terms of the offense.
Need to see more.
Need, yes. Love and need.
Yes, love. and I love seeing him back in the lineup. First of all, we weren't even sure if he ended up getting credit for this goal. They gave it to Eyssimont at one point because they thought that he had gotten the leg on it inadvertently, but Charlie ends up getting the goal correctly. That's what we thought too. But overall, if we can just, Ray was talking about it with the guys up in the booth, wanted to see him shoot more. It's kind of been a story through a lot of his career. It's not his first instinct. He likes to facilitate. You've said it. We've talked about it, though. The more you will show shot and take shot, the easier it will become to facilitate.
Yeah, and kind of what Ray was alluding to, especially up top on the power plays, you must be a threat. And as soon as you're a threat, now you draw guys to you. Now the guys are open on the side. If you're not a threat, they'll back off on you and take away your passes. So it's a situation. The Bruins, whenever we talk about offense, you always go to the forwards right away. But the Bruins need more offense from their defensemen. Adam Peake has 3 goals, and he's the leading defenseman scorer. So you need not only from Charlie to get some offense as he gets healthier here and gets things going, but you also need Hampus. You need some more. You need offense coming from him as well.
Bruins 28th in goals by defensemen in the National Hockey League this season.